This is a video for Dan, everyone at Yankee Creek Ranch. We took Connor out to his first competition since his great run at Aachen. And as you'll see in a second, it didn't start that well, Dan. Often when a horse goes to a really big, exciting competition, the next competition you take them to, they're still a bit buzzed up and wound up. And we warmed up well, actually. I thought I was in business. And then as soon as I sort of started circling the arena, he got a little bit nervous and tight and started getting a bit spooky. And then there was a lot of photographers at the end of the corner of the ring, and kind of looked at them and said, "Hey, get away from me." So I tried not to get too upset at him. He's a highly strung horse. He's like a wide receiver on the NFL team, a bit of a prima donna. And I specifically put him in the open intermediate, half expecting him to be a little bit nervous, sharp, silly, spooky, and it was a good reminder. This is a champion of horses, but he's definitely got his own character. After that explosion, we actually ended up doing a pretty good dressage test. It was honestly, I thought I was going to come dead last there after the dressage, because the medium trot there would have been a 2 out of 10. The great thing with Connor is, because he was a bit excited, I felt like he was very, very flamboyant and extravagant in all this work here. So we must have got a 1 or a 2 for the disobedience on the medium trot, and then I think the rest of the dressage test must have been 8s and 9s, because we actually finished on a score of 30. So obviously, if we had a mistake-free test, we would have been on a score of 20. I was sort of using this event as a bit of a gauge to see where he was after our big run in Germany. I also wanted to give him a bit of a slower run cross-country, a little bit for his brain. The ground was rock hard in Kentucky. It was a real shame, actually. By saying that, they had a watering system around the whole cross-country, but it's never quite the same. They hadn't had rain for a good month. I think, obviously, our huge goal is going to be the Maryland 5-star. Everything we're doing with his training at the moment is sort of heading towards Maryland. So that, I know you know, is October 16th to 19th. So his fitness program and his training programs heading towards that. I'll give him one more run at a 4-star short at Plantation Field, which is not far from where we live here in Pennsylvania. That'll be September 19th to 20th. If the conditions are good there, we should zip him along. It'll be a great fitness run for him. It's quite a hilly course, so and it'll be a pretty challenging course too. And I'm praying for soft ground there, and I think it would be good practice to push Connor there and try and win it, or go close to winning it without risking injury. Between then and now, I'm actually going to try and figure out if we can go to a pure dressage show where we could, the dressage. He's a very, very good dressage horse. He's a bit tricky to ride, so I'm going to try and find a pure dressage show where we could do maybe a couple dressage tests where he doesn't do the galloping or cross country afterwards, because I think he knows what's sort of coming up. It'd also be good to take him to a pure show jumping show. He show jumped quite well here, but he's a bit spooky in the ring, like especially if there's pot plants and cars and decorations in the show jumping ring. He sometimes gets distracted. The good thing with this horse is I've sort of been through this process with him. I'm starting to know him pretty well now. This is our 3rd year together, and there's been a couple slight disasters in our training, if you can think back over the years, and both Connor and I know how to pull it together and really get him firing when it's the really, really important ones. So by saying that, it's a good reminder that he's not quite the finished product yet, or he's not sort of a seasoned schoolmaster type horse. He's a high energy animal that is very, very fit too. Like we did, he's more fit than the other horses at this level at this time of the year, just because we actually we did the 3-day event, and then he had a short break, and then he did the Aachen, which we actually had to rebuild his fitness quickly for Germany. So he's ahead of schedule with his fitness, and his body looks good and stuff like that. So as you can see, the ground was pretty dry in Kentucky. Saying that, I probably would have gone this slow anyway, even if the conditions were good. And I think it's important to every now and then sort of ease up on them a little bit at the competitions. If you go really, really fast and hard at every show, I feel like it sort of freaks them out a bit, and it jeopardizes their soundness. And one great thing with Connor is he's been a very, very healthy horse, especially for the level he's done. You know, this has taken 10 years of training and competing to get him to the top level of the sport. So, you know, usually when they're at this 5-star level, they start showing a bit of wear and tear in their body and their legs. And touch wood, Connor's been he's been a strong, healthy horse. We had a good week's training leading up to it. The new American team coach and manager, Leslie Law and Karen Shooter, came to the farm, along with they brought over German dressage instructor Christoph Hess over, and we worked with Connor in the dressage on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then my jumping coach was here on Monday at the farm in Pennsylvania, so we had a good jump school. Actually, I'll put a bit of that jumping training at the end of this video. Anyway, going back to the competition, you know, I wasn't too worried about the results, but I went quite slow in the cross country, and he pulled up quite healthy, and then came out and jumped the intermediate level show jumping. Obviously, this is quite a lot smaller than what Connor's capable of. Again, like the dressage, he wasn't at his best. It's hard to see on this video, but he's sometimes a bit spooky, and as he takes off, you can sort of feel him, or see him sort of stall off the ground, or he's a little bit sticky coming off the floor. That's just a sign that he hasn't been out and about at competitions basically since June, I think. So I'm glad we didn't put him in the top class, just because I didn't see any need to it. And it's probably nice for him to do a easier contest after the Aachen was basically another 5-star. It was a 5-star sort of short course, if you know what I mean, and having a slightly smaller course that was more inviting and a little bit easier, where he wasn't at his limit, was a good thing. But we still got a bit of work to do. But we got plenty of time. We're in good shape. This was bar the moment in the dressage, it was quite a successful run for him. I'm not too worried or bothered about mishap in the dressage. I just think that's Connor, a bit of a wild man. So this is actually our jumping training on Monday. This is back at my place in Pennsylvania, and again, our jumping trainer Peter came and gave us some good training. And anyway, I think everything's in good shape as we go easy for him for a couple of days, and then we'll get stuck back into it and try and find a dressage and jumping show that we can go to, plus our competition. I think it's in probably 3 or 4 weeks. But we're in good shape to be very, very competitive at Maryland.